Go.
Okay, we're on a section that we've already put the ballast down. Some of the things that I like to use, a spray bottle, and I label it soap water for the train, and I use some Dawn detergent, several drops, enough to make this suds up. That's important. I have some old glue bottles I use. This is just soap water, pure soap water in here, and I'll show you how we apply this in a minute. The other glue bottle that I use is what I call a 50-50 mix. Actually, for laying the ballast, about a 60-40, more water than glue works better. It has to flow smooth. So we're going to start this. First step, we'll take a spray bottle. We're just simply going to spray on our ballast. And one of the purposes of doing this is to keep this dust down. And it also helps stabilize it, so when you get ready to put the glue and stuff on it, it doesn't, it flows evenly. All right, that's wet. Second thing, we're going to take our glue bottle, open it up with the soap water, and we're going to start this, and we're just going to run this down the middle. Now remember, we have the cork board underneath this, and all of our surface boards we've painted, so we don't have to worry about getting into any plywood. We're going to do both sides of the rail, staying on the rail as much as possible. Let it drip down. After you practice this a few times, you'll find it goes pretty smooth. Now we messed it just a little bit there, and you can see what it did. It caused that ballast to roll, but it won't be a problem. I'm going to shake this up. Important, because this stuff tends to not stay in mix. We're going to see how this does. Yeah, I see how that's watery. That's what we want, and it's got good color as far as the white, so there's a good amount of glue in it. I'm going to put a little there, go back down along again the rail. We want this to migrate down into that ballast, and it will. That soap water will allow it to go down in there. Now I just see that we had a little runoff, and it may affect our ballast. We're going to have a little hole as a result of it. We'll just come back and do a repair. With that glue applied, we're going to go back one more time, and we'll spray this. Now this is going to really be wet, and you'll want to let this dry overnight. So if you like, you can at this time come back, and you can sprinkle any of your green ground cover on either side of this. I prefer to wait till all this dries and then work with it separately. Now we're going to have a little problem here in a couple of places, because one of them is right here. You can see where this ballast got up over the rail, or I didn't get it cleaned off good. Several places in here. All right. So don't try to go back and do anything with it now.
Can you point out exactly where that was?
Okay, well that spot that I was talking about, one is right there.
Okay.
See the ballast over the rail?
Oh, okay.
There's 2 or 3 more places down here. There's another one right there. If you try to do something with it now, you're going to wind up with a mess. Let it dry. We're going to show you a section that's dry, that's got that on it, and how we deal with it. Okay? End of session. This is a section of track that we put ballast on several days ago. The ballast is dried. I'm going to show you a couple of things with the toothbrush. When I talked about flattening this out, well, here's a point. You see where it left a ridge, which is okay. You may want that effect, you may not. Now, we have some issues with some of this gravel that's on the rails themselves. It's not much. If it's a problem to you as the operator, then you can remove it. I'm going to show you how to do it. If it's not, leave it alone. One important thing that you have to remember is when you put that diluted solution of glue, it's on your rail. These are nickel silver rails, and I use an emery brush. It's something I bought at Lowe's. It's a sanding brush, and you want to go in, and you've got to do this. You got to clean that rail. If you don't get that off of the rail, you've got glue between your electrical pickups and the rail. In addition, you want to make sure that you vacuum these rails. Shop vac with a small nozzle works real well. First of all, we're going to try to see what we can do about clearing some of this gravel. If the gravel is on the inside rail, the wheel flange is going to hit it and it's going to derail. Most of the time it does not stick to the inside rail, but sometimes it'll pile up. So we have a few areas that, well, right here we'll try to use this little tool, and this is a pallet knife, they call it, putty knife with a rounded edge. And you can go and you can scrape this stuff loose. Another tool that's equally effective, if the camera is focused in right here, is a pocket knife. So you can reach in there with that point, and if there's any of this gravel, sand actually, that's on that inside rail, you can take it off very easily by doing this with a knife. You can scrape that rail. Now there is an advantage to leaving a little of that gravel on the rail if you want to use some black pastel chalk to make some oil leakage lines around areas that you would find those on curves and stuff. So you get the idea. Now, if this area that has this ridge in here, you can see this stuff's pretty tight. It's not going to come out real easy. But you can either chisel it out, tap it out lightly, or wet it a little bit. If you wet it a little bit, you can just shave it down to wherever you want it. Alright, this was done several days ago, and this is nice and solid. Okay, we're going to move to another section here, and we'll show you a couple more tricks. But that's how we do the ballasting